Hey guys, I wanted to go through a section, really an idea, in a Francois Couperin clavier piece. We're going to hear it on piano. He would have played it on a harpsichord. And it's really an exemplary technique in his style. The title of this piece, Les Ombres Errantes, is the best I can do with my leathery hillbilly tongue, means the roving shadows. And this technique we're going to look at is a way of creating shading and a kind of very sensuous vagueness. There's a vagueness, and there's a technical, specific way to how he makes that. And like a lot of Couperin music, we're not going to listen to the whole piece, but it's very, very good. It's like a lot of Couperin, the mood is just the notes on the page don't give you the totality of what the mood is, because he is a really great composer in that sense, is that it's more than the sum of its parts somehow, kind of like Mozart is. And the mood in this is just, it's sly. To me, it's sly and kind of mysterious, maybe a little melancholy, and it's just very typically Couperin-esque. So anyway, let's just look at this. It's not that complicated of an idea, but I found it something to keep in mind for if you wanted to create that type of effect, and just as a technical device. So let's listen to it. Unfortunately, this only has one page of it, so we're going to listen to a little. It's going to jump off the page. I'm just going to go to white, and it'll keep playing. And I'm sorry about that, but that is the score I could find. Anyway, here we go. Let's start it from the beginning. So the part coming up is what we're going to be looking at. So we'll call it good there. So, what's going on in this? Well, the following. First of all, there's a quarter note pulse and there's a half note pulse. And the quarter note pulse has two voices and has two implied voices, and the half note pulse has two implied voices. And both of these voices are offset by, in the case of the quarter note ones, I'm looking at it right. I mean, yeah, in the quarter note ones, I'm looking right here. It's offset by an eighth note. And in the case of the half note, it's offset by a quarter note. So basically what happens is the suspensions cheat. They cheat a little bit. They don't resolve. They resolve and leave one hanging. It's double suspensions. And there's always some... I think of it as like a question mark still left over that creates this very... I'll give you... Let's just go through it here. So right here, da do da dee. Right here we have this one, this 2-1 suspension, or 9/8. You could think of it, which is really in and of itself very pungent. And you also have this 4/3 suspension up here and a ninth suspension up here. So this resolves, the 4/3 suspension, and yet the G is still hanging. What kind of chord is it? You have G, A flat, C, and B flat. And the B flat only resolves with the F here. And okay, it resolves into F minor. However, there's this period of illusion that happens right here, right where I'm circling, and that process is repeated over and over, and it's just very subtly shaded. And same here. The notes we start with are F, G, C, A flat. The B flat resolves first, but that still leaves the A flat hanging, and these two pulses resolve together here. And here's the offset one. Sorry, the bottom voice is the offset by a quarter note half note pulse is what I was talking about. So, and the middle voice right here, the G, the F, is the stable half note. And this one's going at a quicker pulse. So it really creates a sense of illusion, I would say, to how it's greater than the sum of its parts. Like I say, you look at it on paper and you think, okay, it's a series of double suspensions, but it's not, because it doesn't resolve in a it resolves in a consistent way, but it doesn't resolve in a typical way. So let's see. Got a basic. The cadences are more typical. Got a 9/8 suspension there, and this wonderful 7/6 here. It's a very French thing. This type of cadential sound. We'll listen to that again, and basically, I don't have the rest of the music, but the same thing happens, and it's worth noting that these voices are completely unequivocal in their rhythmic identity. They are straight up half notes or straight up quarter notes, and yet just by offsetting them a little bit, he sets this thing into motion. So it's at once extremely clear and precise, and yet also very subtle. And that was just interesting to me to conceptualize having these suspensions, like really wondering, well, where does this suspension, can it wait longer? What happens if I resolve something first? What happens if I throw something in between and stretch out that expectation? So there's expectations on multiple levels within the voices here. And the way it works is just amazingly clear and fabulous. So let's listen to it again, please. Thank you. Let's just start there. Listen to a little bit. Let's just try it one more time, guys. See? Okay. So the bass has the stable note, the tenor voice, or sorry, the alto voice has the offset rhythm, and as well as the tenor. So anyway, I hope you got something out of that. I'm not sure I synthesized it in a very informative way. I did my best. I know this is a small example of a very, very big artist, you know? So there are many other techniques he uses in order to create this, what defines Couperin. This is one thing just to keep in mind, and it's just my interpretation of it, and I hope you got something out of it.